Top one, laddies. My name is Hez, and welcome to the What If Slapper was in My Hero Academia? I am gonna make him have a sister in this What If, because I don't remember what was the old one was. So it would be her. Yeah, because it's suiting, because her hands become battle hands. And she would like slap people around if she wanted to. But I am making him overpowered. Like beyond your comprehension. Yeah. So, yeah. Their parents gave birth to them. And yeah. But, so, the doctor told him that the doctor looked at his sister and tells her that she has a quirk called battle hands. And so he looks at, then like he goes into details, and then he looks at him and says, "Sorry, kid, you can't become hero without a quirk." So yeah, but he lied. See, Slapper's quirk allows him to slap the entire reality. It's basically slapping the fourth dimension or fifth dimension out of existence if he wanted to. Like, wham! Seeing you like doing something, like making a cheeseburger, and then you start telling it to cook faster, then suddenly out of nowhere, you see a hand from him. Yeah. So yeah. But that's not important. His power of infinity and zero allows him to go beyond his own body, as he gave him that name of Slapper. Because why the heck not? So yeah, now the time skip. He was abandoned, as he's also immortal, so he could outlive his sister. Because he's immortal. So he goes to UA, or time skip to UA. So his sister doesn't recognize him, as he doesn't recognize her. But he focuses on more offense and defense. So yeah, basically, one whiff of his hand is like All Might's full punch. So yeah, and Zuko was the same. Or actually, from canon. But he when he did that fling thing, like this. Yeah. It was like he's controlling the winds. Yeah. As the 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers came to attack him, as they feel the winds and slapped against their face, or their robotical face, sending them flying backwards. And as he says, you should make this 3 times as hard. And as he, yeah, as a 0-pointer, or 2 0-pointers came, Zuko already took care of one, but the other one went berserk and ends up hurting his friend. That made him mad. It was uncontrollable. As he flies to the 0-pointer, lifting it up with all of his force. As he says to him in a very dark voice, I'll try to do it. You hurt my friends? You try to hurt my friends? Now you die by my hands. As he cuts the 0-pointer into bacon-sized bits. Yeah. As he wasn't, as his aura shook everyone in the stadium, as everybody's scared. Like, this kid's powerful. His aura, yeah. So then he's in Class 1A. As Zuko, who and him were friends, as let's say they know that sorry about that, and I had to take a bathroom break. So yes, yeah. Saber sees Zuko as his brother. Yeah. Because he didn't see them as friends. He sees them as his own brother and sister. Yeah. Zuko knows that he's joking, but okay. Yeah. So, who's the one that attracts him the most? You could see her. I was gonna use like Mina. As yeah, so then he got whopping infinity when he threw the ball. And for heroes versus villains, well, it's the I'm not going to get into that detail. But at USJ, they had their costumes on. As he was, his class was joined by Class 1B. And yes, I actually thinking about her, because when I first saw her, and of course I knew that she's going to be for creepiness, and Slapper is all about that creepy. He was like born with the creepiness when he wants to be. Yeah. So many girls looked at him like even embarrassed. Okay? So, yeah, when they got to USJ, they get ambushed by none other than Shiraki-sen and his gang of thugs. Yeah, with Kirigiri. And they weren't just low tier villains, they were like busted, broken, and overpowered super villains. Like, they are very high end ones. So, yeah. Mr. Ozawa says, oh boy. 13. Protect the students. As 13 looks at him like he'll die. An instant death. As that, or when 13 said that, Slapper understood what, as they could feel his aura pacing, like his darkness, and he absolute annihilated every single super villain, made a pile of dead corpses, as he was the only one standing on it. As he says, no one dies today. As he knew, or as most of them are terrified, of what he did. He took out the end of the world, broken. Yeah. As he moves so fast that even in the blink of an eye, he's gone. So, yeah. And Mr. Zahoa didn't lose his eyesight. Or 13 didn't lose like his or her suit thing. You know. So it was between him and the Nomu. Two Nomus. As he says, you both are dead to my eyes. As his darkness, when he opened his eyes, they don't see, or actually the Nomus standed back, like they couldn't feel, or they could feel his bloodlust boiling to a point of no return. as he flies into their and funny enough, it was Kirigiri that was one of the Nomus, High-End Nomus, as he took the Kirigiri out first. And then he battled against the Nomu as the air pressure differs. Like, with every strike from Slappers' attacks. And yeah. As from the waist of the Nomu's body all the way to the top of his head, and it exploded as the Nomu fell onto the piles of dead corpses. Yeah. As he takes a deep breath. Yeah. As he was like, as he shakes his head to make sure that there's no brain cells loose. As, yeah. That when they all saw how powerful he really gets as Mr. Ozawa realized that 13 said that. As he asked 13 them about I think I know why that one of our students went berserk, or one of the students went berserk, because he didn't like the word death. Yeah. As he tuned it out when he yeah. It's terrifying. As he was sitting on a man's corpse, listening to his lullaby song that he makes up. As he so then in sports festival, yeah, he won the against the, or he won the race. He won the cavalry battle, and for the fight one, yeah, he won that too. So I'm skipping it. Of course, last night after the sports festival, or during the sports festival, her parents saw how brutal that kid is, and when they announcers did that, like, all right, Class 1A slapper, as then they knew it was their son. That they abandoned. Can you, or then, yeah, they could sense the aura radiating off of his body. Yeah. And who's his opponent in the final round? Well, it is none other than Hasuke Bakugo. Bakugo got slapped. He literally got slapped. With enough air pressure, sending him flying out of the stadium even. As he says, well, guess I win. As he was pretty powerful. As, yeah, his quirk that I forgot to mention, or his quirk, I'm going to change it to, like, Air Force. Or, yeah, because I don't remember what it was before. So, yeah, so he was, like, mostly and he used, like, or actually some of the fights that he did, like his combination was looked like his sister's. Yeah. So he basically used air pressure to make it sound like it's Jiro's noise thing. As even Jiro couldn't believe that it looked like her quirk. As he used offense and defense. Yeah. So then now his ability. So now his quirk. So he makes things really fast. So now I don't know what agency he should be in, but let's just say it was as Endeavor's agency, as he starts, like, both of them start to, like, and when he saw the destruction, he knew, as he tells Endeavor to get back now, as his voice starts to become more dark, as his body, that all the Nomus, like, there's not even, like, 3, there was about, like, the entire army. But he ends up saying that these bozos, or these pathetic creatures, need to please, as he brings all of them to him. Yeah, all the Nomus were formed into a ball, and he starts crushing them. Like his hand starts to, as he comes, my signature ability, named after me, Air Force Slap, as he slaps the Nomu out of, or Nomus, the entire army, out of existence. Oh, now I remember. It was the one that thing. Yeah. So, yeah. Then, when the air pressure dippers, like when he does it, or like she does it doesn't do nothing. But when he does it, it's like, oh no, it's end of the world, no! Yeah. So, yeah. You thought it was going to be that easily. So, yeah, then they didn't know who was the one that did it. But when they got back to school, he was the first one there. And she walks in before school started. Then, as he she tells him to come over to his or to her house because her folks wanted to talk to him, not asking him out on a date thing. So, yeah. So then, yeah, so then after school, he went over to her house. Her mother and her father, was mother asked him to come back into this family, like a family tree. As he says, sure. As, yeah. So, then they tell her what she thought she was the only person, but her thought of her brother, like, is he my brother? I don't know. He's a dumb jerk. But in reality, he's not a dumb jerk. He's more of like kind-hearted. But then when when her parents told her that, she immediately went into a panic mode. Like, wait, what? So I'm the big sister to him, right? Yes. But is blood testing matches to ours. So yeah, his DNA, and there's more. He did have a quirk called Air Force, and it's a most powerfulest one, but that's not important. See, he's immortal. he has the infinity powers. He has infinity and zero fused into his body. That makes sense because during the USJ a couple years ago, or a couple weeks ago, I could sense the dark aura. And before that, So when he got home, or when next day, his sister says, "Ready, big brother?" Or, "Ready, hey, baby brother?" Yeah. That I could outlive you. Yeah. And don't ask me how. As he uses his Air Force powers to basically, he was like a phoenix. He went full speed in using his Air Force abilities when he picked up momentum. Yeah. He is like a jet. As they couldn't believe. Faster and faster. Yeah. And so now it's a camp arc. I'm skipping the camp arc because Slapper basically trained 10 times as strong as the gray-haired girl went over and asked, "Did you ask him out?" As she didn't know, of course, she actually tells her that, gross, that's my brother, my baby brother that I have. He and I, as she couldn't believe that. So she wanted to date him so bad. She wanted to do that. She wanted to, force him to date her. But turns out, this is the funny part that I might add, he also wanted to date her too. Because no matter how many, he gets embarrassed when there's girls around. Yeah. So the Air Force, that's his quirk's name. And his full name is Slapper Kendo. Slapper Kendo is his name. Yeah. You might be wondering, why is he called Slapper and he uses Air Force? Well, in order to activate his quirks and abilities, first he has to do when he uses any part of his body, he actually wins Yeah. So, yeah. So then the who got captured was none other than him. Yeah. So then the whole like, oh, I'm gonna do this, do that. All my versus All for One. Stop her, or actually knows that the Zuko, he he knows that the All for One's gonna kill All Might because of that beam attack that he heard so much around. As All for One lifts his hand up slowly, like slow motion, as it charges up. And when it fired, All for One, or no, All Might says in his own head, "Is this the end for me?" As out of nowhere, a some random hand just came out of nowhere, slaps the laser attack away from him. As they, it was like, yeah, they knew at that, or All for One knew at that moment he fucked up. Yeah. So because Slapper became, as he walks towards him, the glowing red eyes. It was the, yeah. It was like he, as All for One says, this is impossible. How are you doing this? As he used, or as Zuko, or no, Slapper uses rewind time to rewind All for One to his prime to make things even, but it doesn't work out that way. Yeah. All for One, or prime All for One, was going to kill Slapper, but at that moment, he knew he couldn't do that. So, yeah, Slapper finally defeated All for One. As he turns around, looks at the League of Villains and the cameras, as they knew his aura. All the villains are like so scared out of their minds. The crime rate went from whatever the number is all the way down to about 0% crime activities. Yeah. Because he knew, or they knew, that when he gets angry, they all start running. As he takes a breather and helps All Might, he has the same, like, he has a straight face, or a smiley face. Yeah. And so, yeah, as she ends up being proud of her brother too. Yeah. And so he, as during the rest of the days, like when they were at school before, because my other things that if Slapper was the he could have the powers of infinity abilities, to yeah, he was being a weirdo. So he asked him to basically peep on the girls, as he says, no, as yeah, as yeah. So then now I'm skipping the overhaul fight, but during the before the sports or before the dodgeball thing, way before, she put her hand on the wall, like you see them um like it's like those anime characters where they are trying to strain in the yeah, but it was dark hallway, as she ends up um having a red eye too, like how he does. So as he starts laughing, as she ends up doing that, like she puts her hand over, like right beside his head, not like covering his ear, but covering the wall, as she tells him who would, if you could date me. That's what she says. As he starts giggling, as she doesn't know what's so funny, as so he ends up grabbing her head and kissed her right on the lips, as her eyes are wide, as she couldn't believe, as she basically, that's his response. Yeah, as he tells her that, I know that you're a Class B student and I'm in Class A, but that doesn't matter to me. You're in a. It was. You and I. And he says this. You got your answer. because both, as she was like so surprised when that's was the, she uses her words, or she tried to use her words, but she is muttering over herself. And yeah, because she didn't know that he loved her after they met. And as, like, during school, when no one's looking, or actually after school, they end up dating each other's. And then there's me. So, sorry, I'm a little bit laughing. And so, yeah, my only person that does, or everyone doesn't know, no, because his power is allows him to stop time, except for the ones that he chooses. So she and him went on a beautiful date, and yeah, they both got married. And because they watched a movie, they did all the romantic stuff. And yeah, it was a horror movie stuff that she likes. And yeah. Then the big sister, hers, like, what the heck? What? I noticed, of course, she says, I noticed that you and one of my classmates, and every time you both locked eyes on each other's, you already, as he, yeah, her parents aren't mad, because he actually told them what's going on with, before they become suspicion. So yeah, they're not mad, but his sister is upset of what's going on between you two. Huh. As he tells her, or actually, she tells her that I am dating your brother. And as, yeah. And so, yeah. Both of them are embarrassed. And, yeah. So this is the end of the video. Please leave a like, share, subscribe. And Slapper and her got married. And had 2 kids, by the way, before I forgot to mention. Both of them have their powers. So, yeah. So, bye.